There are very few moments in internet history where you see a successful instance of a new idea sprouting from the ashes of something old. Many people in the world have had grand ideas of taking something that's been established and making them better, but failing amazingly in the process. But sometimes, when the stars align and the shitposting gods will it, something truly amazing could potentially rise from those old ashes. The story of the RPC Authority is one such story. A story of shitposts, drama, red spies and bases, politics, overthrownment, bisexual ethnostates, passion, gay homestuck stylites, and much, much more. To explain such a story in an unbiased and truthful manner is a difficult one, but I assure you, it is a story worth listening to. This is the history of the RPC Authority. The RPC Authority was formed in the month of June 2018 after a series of events involving the SCP community led to a splinter amongst the community. While many would point towards the distaste of SCP's Pride Month celebrations as the focus point of the split, it couldn't be any further from the truth. You see, the moderation involved with SCP has grown unhelpful for the last few years, to say the least. An overgrowth of questionable articles, reports of silence of members in the forums, and the outlandish increase to the number of Mary Sue articles led to a sour taste in the mouths of many users. The straw that broke the website's back, to many, was not the Pride Month celebrations, but the handling of said celebrations. The moderation team involved with SCP went into overload mode in terms of reports, kicks, and bans across not only the forums, but other mediums as well, including the sacred SCPD Reddit and Discord. This was the last straw for many community members, which led to many splinter groups, including a brand new Chaos Insurgency. But there was one splinter site that, for whatever reason, be it fate or chance, took a grand stand on the opportunity. That site was the RPC Authority. In the beginning, the man responsible for giving life to the freshly formed splinter group was CFO. CFO was an interesting leader to say the least, and while his rule over the site was criticized by many, few would argue that his actions left an impact on the larger community as a whole. You see, CFO started the site on a dare on the 13th of June 2018. Several days later, a new member of the site, known as Zuck, suggested starting up a Discord server. This action led to the freshly birthed site to gain traction with new users and outreach, including numerous threads on 4chan and even a shoutout from Jim himself, Mr. Mediker. Unfortunately, things would immediately go south for the newly formed site. You see, CFO felt that he was the only man who could do anything right. He was the head of lore, head of adminship, head of memes, etc. He felt that no one could possibly carry the mantle that he carries, and would even mock those underneath him. He would take down articles that he saw unfit, mute and ban members who would even question him, took creative control of the original 001 proposal contest, and would control what you could and couldn't write, which made the whole idea of the RPC pointless. This led to several members to develop multiple splinter groups. We will discuss them in the next act. The final straw was the banning of Gloop for, quote, editing articles without permission, despite being part of the administration team on the site. This led to many members of the community to collectively go, "Yo, what the fuck, my dude?" By August, the community felt that CFO's leadership was tainted and was overall shit, and felt that CFO should be removed. After attempting to hold the domain hostage, CFO caved in and accepted his demotion as leader of the RPC. After CFO's demise, the moderation team felt that the best way to lead was to not have a singular leader in charge, and have set up a dummy account to take control of the main site. Despite these improvements, many people outside the Discord still believe that CFO was still in charge, and his actions left a sour taste in many mouths, including former supporters. This misconception of what was really going on was being amplified severely by a familiar corner of the internet. The effects of CFO's actions left an impact on the grand internet as a whole in terms of RPC's representation. While many people consider the RPC as a breath of fresh air, several groups consider the idea of a new writing site unorthodox, including former members who felt that the site was beyond saving from CFO's shitposting. At the forefront of the opposition was the SCP community, whose attitude towards the RPC is, well, not great to say the least. The most obvious anti-RPC group within the SCP community is SCP Declassified, whose relationship with the RPC is very rocky. Both sides have expressed their distaste in the other, even going as far as having several events escalating into full-on autistic bitch-slap spurgfest. At the time of this video, the relationship has remained sour but stagnant. While the majority of SCPD was against the RPC from day one, there was one user that was most infamous amongst both communities: JFB, aka Kinch the Knife Blade. You see, Kinch was already infamous in the SCP circles for writing SCP-2721, aka the Homestuck Satellite. When CFO got the boot, Kinch joined the site to, quote, assist in the creation of the Writer's Guide. This was noticed by an infamous RPC user, Phantom Guy, known for bullying new users for being, new users. He sought out Kinch and began starting shit with them. This led to a Discord debacle where many people got banned from SCPD for following Phantom Guy into the server to see what the commotion was about. To make a severely long story short, the whole saga ends with Zuck, now the main admin of the original SCPD Discord server. Yeah, that happened. As mentioned previously, inside tension between the mods and CFO caused several members to jump ship and start development of new sites, now known as the Splinter Groups. While there are many splinters, the three big ones that were developed were the New Dawn Initiative, Global Enterprise for Advanced Research, and Acquire, Enclose, and Protect. NDI left due to Gloop's demise and was planning on expanding to a full site after absorbing AEP when CFO bit the dust. This led to NDI and others to come back to RPC. After some internal discussions, one of the former NDI mods, known as Blaren, became the new main admin of the RPC Discord. Ever since then, the moderation team has been more or less the same since the merging back of the Splinter Groups. Since the disposal of CFO and the remerging of the Splinter Groups, the main site began to take off. Several former SCP writers jumped ship to join the RPC after CFO's disposal, including Vaughn Pensier, known for writing the original Hateful Star article. To help separate themselves from SCP, the group began making changes from the SCP formula, beginning with the format itself and then the object classes. You see, the RPC Authority's original object class structure originally consisted of the three object classifications similar to SCP's classification system: Alpha, which was safe, Beta, which was a Euclid, and Gamma, which was Keter. While this system was great at first, the need for a more in-depth system was, needed, leading to the RPC object class system. The system is based on both a containment rating and a lethality rating. The containment rating is based on the name of the rating, and the lethality rating is based on the color of the rating. For example, Alpha Orange. It's easy to contain, but really dangerous to have. You know? While this was already in depth, many members believe that we need to go deeper, and have developed the Threats and Hazards Code. The code was made to help better explain what the RPC in question could actually do, if it's sentient or not, if it could manipulate reality itself, if it can jerk itself off, etc. The last major change from the original formula so far was the addition to the divisions: Research, Protection, and Containment. Each division has its own distinct style and purpose. With all these new inclusions, with many more in development, it's safe to say that the RPCs began to shed the shackles that is being in the shadow of the once great SCP Foundation. At the time of making this video, the RPC has been around for almost a year now. Not a lot has really happened between the remerging of the splinter groups and now in terms of drama or really any development, considering the site is mostly kept to themselves for the last few months. A few interesting projects have cropped up in that time, however, including a video game project and the Authority Vault, developed by yours truly, with 7 more big projects in the pipeline for the future. The relationship between the RPC and the SCP communities have been under a sort of cold status, despite several flare-ups caused by minor inconveniences during April Fool's Day festivities. Phantom Guy has been gone for months now due to a ban, and Kins has been rumored to target certain members of the community in an attempt to get them banned off of Discord. As for SCPD, they've established the need to distance themselves from RPC, and have put new rules in place to punish members of the Discord who have not left the RPC Discord. While many people feel that the feud between the communities is silly and childish, there seems to be no end in sight for a comfortable conclusion. It's not often you get to witness something that has great potential forming right before your eyes. The opportunity to actually create something that could really engage an audience in a way seldom seen in media today. For many of its users, the birth of the RPC gave them that opportunity, in a way. Not since SCP's founding has such an opportunity came up again. Yeah, the site and the community has had a rocky beginning, what with CFO, the heavy-handed influences of 4chan, and the overall shitposty attitude of the overall group. But, in a sense, that is what makes the RPC what it is. It's a shitposty melting pot of ideals and ways to engage those ideas. Without that inclusive and diverse of soul, the site would be just another shitty half-ass SCP ripoff. Thankfully, it's far greater than that now, and, in my opinion, is something that is worth giving a minute or two to look at. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, farewell.